Everyone, hopefully,
Good morning.
yeah, hopefully everybody slept well. If you didn't, we hope to keep you awake anyway. So, I should look at my agenda before I get too carried away.
Yeah, so
There.
hi, Doug.
Hey Doug, can I remind you to bring the microphone to your mouth when you talk, please?
Okay, what is the rules with the microphones in this meeting? Do we need them down close for everybody that speaks? And I see there's no on off. Okay,
So no side chatter, you'll pick it up.
great. So, okay, so everything's being recorded. Taylor, how do you want us to start this thing? We're going into our rack first thing, right?
Yeah, so I can kind of facilitate that, and then we can.
Do you want me to go ahead and do the welcome and introductions?
I think that'd be great. Yeah.
Okay, so I see we got a few new people here, so we'll let the introductions go a little bit longer than maybe normal. I'm Doug Kramer. I'm a farmer, blueberry farmer out of St. Paul, Oregon, and I've been on the commission since the inception. So, Bruce?
And can I just jump in? Don't feel like you have to go too long because we're gonna have to do these introductions again at 9:15. So I want to hold a little bit of your fire.
See, that's why they call me the chairman, because I really have no control.
And I'm Bruce Taylor, and I'm a Fish and Wildlife Commission appointee, also one of the original members who did the rules the first time around, many years ago, 6, 7 years ago, something like that. And I'm retired and live in Portland.
Good morning, I'm Mark Labhart. I slept really well last night because I only live 18 miles away in Sister, so that was my drive.
Well planned.
Yeah, well planned. I am the new Barb. I'm sit on the OWEB board. I also sit on the Oregon Fish and Wildlife Commission, so I'm the liaison from OWEB to this group. So glad to be here.
Morning, everyone. It's nice to meet everyone in person. I think I've been on Zoom for practically every meeting. So Laura Masterson, 47th Avenue Farm, appointed by ODA. I grow organic vegetables in the Willamette Valley.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Ed Contreras. I'm on the commission appointed by Oregon Department of Fish and Wildlife. My day job is in wetland conservation, and I'm based in Klamath Falls, Oregon.
Jimbo.
Morning, I'm Jim Bob Collins. I'm a rancher out of Mitchell, Oregon. I've been on quite a few different boards. I believe ODA appointed me, or SWCC, I don't know. Barb Boyer talked me into it, so that's what I'm calling out.
We're all appointed by Barbara.
We'll go ahead and stick with members. Lois, I see you're out there. Your mute button.
Did you miss Amanda on purpose?
Well, I was trying to do our commission members first, so. Lois, your mute button is,
Okay,
there you are.
I should be okay now. My name is Lois Loop. I also am one of the original people that set up the rules. And I am part of a family farm just outside of Salem. And we raise the general crops that old-fashioned people used to raise, like wheat, and hope the price goes up. But anyway, so glad to be here. Glad that we're looking at some funding, and hope you guys are having a good time over there.
Okay, we got our extension guy. Oh.
Hey everyone, my name is Dan Bigelow. I'm with OSU Extension, and I work on various topics around farmland markets, land conservation, and other sort of related things.
Thank you. Amanda.
Good morning. I'm Amanda Lowe. I'm the OWEB appointed tribal representative on the Oregon Ag Heritage Commission. And in my day job, I'm in the Range Ag and Forestry Program for the Confederated Tribes of the Umatilla Indian Reservation in Pendleton.
Okay, Sarah or Taylor, we'll let you guys do your staff.
Sounds loud. Welcome, everybody. I'm Sarah O'Brien. I'm OWEB's new executive director as of late June, so this is my first OAHC meeting. Lois was one of the first people I met when I first came to Oregon, so it's good to see you there. Laura, I met you back when I ran in a CSA, so it's good to see some old friends here. And everybody else is an old friend too, but you guys I haven't seen in a long time.
And then I'm Taylor Larson, and I'm the coordinator for the Ag Heritage Program and herder of cats here with the RAC process. And just don't want to forget Eric Hartstein too.
Yep, he's on camera. Go ahead, Eric.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. Eric Hartstein, Senior Policy Coordinator at OWEB.
Okay, Taylor, do you want to introduce the rest of the staff people? Yes, or?
Not really. I think we can do introductions at the actual commission meeting.
Just wanted to be sure how you wanted to do stuff, so.
Want to be introduced? Okay, I didn't mean to be.
Still waking up already.
Okay, so here we are. We've had 5 RAC meetings. This is hopefully our last one. So the board authorized rulemaking for the Ag Heritage Program back in April. And since that time, we've been meeting on a pretty regular basis to work on an update to the whole rule set. You know, there's 5 divisions of the rules, nearly 30 pages, and we've been kind of slogging our way through, and this is where we put the bow on it. So looking forward to today. So we only have about 20 minutes on the agenda for the RAC process, so we're gonna just kind of run through it pretty quick, but if folks have sort of last minute additions or changes they want to make, this is the time to do it. So, because basically following this RAC meeting, the rules are then gonna go out for formal public comment, and that public comment will be incorporated and then passed on to the board, who will consider adopting the proposed rule updates. Just kind of at a high level, I did share a document we posted along with this meeting that kind of summarized the changes to the rules this go around. So hopefully folks have had a chance to look at that. I'm not going to run through it line by line because we kind of called out every little change, but sort of big broad buckets of changes that have been made. I mean, first and foremost, we incorporated the board's climate evaluation criteria and then the associated definitions. And then we worked really hard to align what's in statute with what's in rule. So this program is pretty unique in that it has a pretty prescriptive statutory framework. And so just kind of going through with a fine tooth comb and make sure we're not contradicting ourselves in rule. So, and then kind of using that as a springboard into, you know, some discussions bled into the policy and agency operation realm, and that's been super helpful for us, but sort of outside of the purview of you all wearing your RAC hats. But we're in a unique position because you also are the commission that helps set policy and direction for the program. So big buckets, yeah, aside from, you know, working to align statute with rule, really focusing in on roles, so who does what. There's, you know, roles for OWEB staff, there's roles for this body, the commission, there's roles for the OWEB board. And there were quite a few areas where I think it made sense, and we talked through a lot of those to swap which body was doing what and just get really clear about who's on first. Also, we spent a fair amount of time in the evaluation criteria, especially for the programs we've run. So that's, you know, the conservation easement program, and then also in the conservation management program. We also did touch the evaluation criteria for our succession planning and technical assistance grant programs, but with a little lighter touch as we haven't ran those yet. And then spent some time sort of overhauling the technical review description in the rules of how we do that process, so that we're all on the same page about how we're reviewing applications, and it aligns with sort of best practices at OWEB, and again, with what's in statute for how we go about reviewing and bringing projects to you as a commission. We'll talk more about that later today in a real-life setting. So I guess before we move on to kind of going through the rules one last time, I do just want to kick it to Eric Hartstein to see if you have anything to add sort of about process, next steps, just how this rulemaking goes from here. He's our expert on staff. So Eric, if you have something to add, go for it.
Gosh, thanks, Taylor. Yeah, I don't know about expert, but I can talk process a little bit here. So following this meeting, assuming that the commission does move forward with these rules, we will file a notification with the Secretary of State's office before December 1st, so that it is published in early December with the Secretary of State. At the same time, we'll be notifying relevant legislators, Natural Resource Committee chairs, and solicit for both public and tribal comment on the draft rules during the month of December. Also in December, we'll be setting up a virtual public hearing to hear comments and feedback on the proposed rule revisions. And then in early January, we will review all the public and tribal comment that is received, and then develop a document that includes responses to the comments that were received, and whether that results in a proposed change to the draft rules. And then all of this will get packaged up, including the rules, as Taylor alluded to a little bit earlier, and go to the OWEB board at their meeting in late January for consideration for adoption. So I'll stop, see if there are any questions.
Yeah, any questions on process, next steps, that kind of thing before we dive into our last joint session of editing a document in a public meeting? Okay. So, like I said, we've spent a fair amount of time on this document. So this is sort of a last chance to make sure we haven't missed anything, or if there's something that you feel like didn't get incorporated that you thought we talked about and you really want to see in there. Now would be the time to share. So I'm just going to run through the divisions and see if there are questions or comments. If so, we'll stop, we'll pause, and we'll have that discussion and talk about what we can incorporate here. And if not, we'll move on, and we're headed towards a motion eventually for this body to vote to recommend a revised rule set. So with that, Division 5, I can pull it up and put it on the screen if it would be helpful for folks. So let me know if that would be helpful, but otherwise I'm just gonna keep us focused on our faces. Does anybody have thoughts, comments, things that you wish had gotten incorporated into Division 5, typos that you want to share now or forever hold your peace? For 5 years. Okay. All right. What about Division 10? Does anybody have thoughts on Division 10? This is our conservation management planning rules. I'll say I found a typo in Division 10 since they were posted, and so have an edited version going that has that typo fixed. We were just referring to conservation easements where we should have been referring to conservation management plans in the evaluation criteria 4. But other than that, no changes to what you received as RAC members. Okay, Division 15. I think we spent probably the most time here. This is the conservation covenant and easement rule set. But if you feel like there's something that we missed or didn't talk about, let me know. Otherwise, we're headed for a longer break, which is great. Okay,
I would just say, the reason you're not hearing a lot of comments here, we've spent a lot of time.
yeah. I think over 15 hours on editing this document as a group, so I am really looking forward to this coffee break after this. Okay, Division 20. These are the technical assistance rules, and we've yet to run this program, but we did make some tweaks. Okay, Division 25. Okay. Wow. Well, that's exciting. It means we've done our job. Thank you, everybody, for the hard work on this up to this point. I was gonna say it's been fun. It's been an education for me. Like, I feel very blessed to have, be charged with coordinating this program and get the opportunity to spend time with such bright minds thinking through the nuts and bolts of how it actually works. So really appreciate the time and effort you all put into this. It means a lot. Yep.
Taylor, can I step in and thank staff too? I know there are a number of folks in the room that haven't been introduced yet. Renee and Teresa and Robin and Hartstein and you have done a great job shepherding this through. I think it's gonna, I mean, I can't predict the behavior of any board, but you guys have done your homework and you've set up a good conversation for us to take this to the OWEB board, if and when you vote so at this point. But thanks to the commission, but thanks to the staff as well.
Yeah, so we are a few minutes away from public comment, but if I'm correct, Ellen, we didn't receive any signups for public comment, or?
We did not receive any signups, but there is an attendee watching, so I invite people to raise their hands since I don't have a mic.
So if you're watching and would like to give public comment, go ahead and raise your Zoom hand and we'll call on you and you can give your public comment on the rules. Going once, going twice. Okay, seems like we have no public comment on the rules. We've received plenty up to this point, so, and like Eric Hartstein mentioned, these will be going out for kind of a formal public comment process. So with that, I'll turn it over to this body to potentially consider a motion.
Okay. Thank you, Taylor. Really appreciate staff's hard work on this. And like Bruce said, we have spent a few hours coming up with this, so appreciate everybody's hard work. There is a proposed motion at the bottom of your agenda page there. And at this point in time, I would entertain that motion if somebody wishes to make it.
Why is everyone looking at me?
Because you're going to make the motion, Laura.
I move to recommend the revised OHP rules as amended be adopted by the OWEB board following a formal public comment period.
Thank
And
you.
I would second that.
Thank you, Lois. Okay, is there any discussion on that motion? Okay, seeing none. Everybody in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Is there anybody that is abstaining from a vote? Seeing none, I will declare this motion passed. Thank you.
Awesome, thank you. So, very efficient, good job. We've earned ourselves a 25-minute break. So with that, yeah, we'll be back at 9:15 to start the commission business meeting. So thank you, everybody.
Thank you.